Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So we're getting caught up on some channel stuff today, so we've got a little bit of Shonen Jump. We're going to get caught up on some read-throughs like I promised last weekend. So a lot to look forward to this weekend. It is Thanksgiving weekend, so I'm going to try to do some extra videos tomorrow as well. So look forward to that. But like always, if you do like this content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. To all my Canadian mutuals out there, I hope you all are enjoying your Thanksgiving long weekend. I know to the American ones out there, you guys don't have that until next month, but so without further ado, let us get into it with Akane-Banashi, Story 81, Chocho Kanjakutei, the Ookanban Part 2. We have story by Yuki Suenaga, art by Takamasa Moe. I will say I really do love this, the color spread with the Halloween theme. With Hikaru dressed as a mummy, Akane as a witch, and I think Urara is supposed to be a magician that she's dressed up as. I really like that. I'm already loving how this chapter's starting off. Of course, there's translation by Stephen Paul, lettering by Sneer Aran, and Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya. So we have a little poster saying, Abara TV, is it Abara TV? I have a pros celebrity top mahjong pros versus celebrity mahjong player showdown. You have it happen 2 years ago on an online channel against professional mahjong players at the top of their game. And you have, here's my hand. The chance of acquiring that hand, just 0.03%. And it goes Dice Sangen, 3 big dragons. That's 32,000 points. You have X is Ryoten Noma, Rakugoka Chocho Kanjakutei, Ghost Japan Koa Unzen, and Den Den Den. I have no idea what any of those are supposed to be. Is that supposed to be like their careers or whatnot? No idea what any of those are supposed to be. We have Tokikatsu Manaka. So X had a score of 18,800. Chocho with his new hand, his points total went up to 59,200. Ghost Japan's dropped down from 32,000 to 8,000, and Den Den had a 30,000. I have no mahjong's one of those things I've always wanted to learn how to play it, but it's gonna take me years to actually understand how any the points, hands and all that stuff works. But you have, if only for a moment, Rakugoka emerged triumphant over the country's best pro players. And you have Ghost after the match going, after playing against him, I'm struck by his willingness to gamble, his decisiveness, but most of all, his reads. What to play, what to discard. He's watching things that run entirely counter to the common theory of mahjong players. I think what he saw was, and we see back at the performance hall, as he's about to start his performance, he goes, there we go. I thought of doing a little gambling with the Zenza backstage earlier. He's like, oh, don't worry, not for money, just for fun. And just when we were about to get down to it, it was my turn to take the stage. What a buzzkill. And you see shaking off his outer robe as he goes, there are said to be 3 great pleasures in life. One of them is to gamble, and this pastime has more than a few enthusiasts. So what's this? Are you playing dice again? How many times have I gotten in your ear about not gambling your lives away? It's not what you think, old fellow. This one's just for fun. Now, was it Master Hakusho? I want to say. Give me a second. Let me just look up Glasses Bro's name really quick. Yeah, Hasho. So Master Hasho just interrupts Akane's thoughts with, he just flowed right into the story, didn't he? His voice is crisp and bright and his enunciation is firm. His nin is impatient but good-spirited. His words and deeds go hand in hand. Everything he says passes through the ears and goes straight to the gut. That's a quality that any Rakugoka would envy. And Akane is like, it's a very easily listening experience, it's true, but the crowd seems a bit subdued. And Hasho goes, that's probably an issue with the choice of story. And you have one for show. A retiree who was once known as a master gambler is invited by younger men to play a game of Chobiochi, where the roll of the dice leads to delight and agony alike. At a group performance, each slot is normally around 15 minutes, except the headlining act who gets 30. So the audience wants to hear a long, satisfying story worthy of the finale. And you see, oh sorry, there's got a bug flying around here. Uh, so you see like a pyramid tier. You have Zenzo-Banashi at the bottom, and then a long story at the top. So fetching tea, the one that Urara taught her, is a long story, whereas one for show is like slightly just like one step above the Zenzo-Banashi one. And he goes, but one for show is a lighter story. It isn't suited to be a capper. And she's like, oh, I get it. It's like hoping for steak but getting served a gyudon beef bowl instead. Just imagines like the poor dinos eating, be like, I mean, it's good, but. And Hasho's like, I guess? And Akane's like, so why did you choose this one? It's like, it's his bad habit. Let me ask you, was Chocho playing dice backstage before coming out? It's like he decides which story to perform based on the dice roll. Akane's like, what? It's like, yes, it's unthinkable. He leaves the story he chooses up to fate. It's just another gamble to him. But where it differs from true gambling is, and he's doing like the whole thing pretending the old man is like, you want me to run the game for you? You know they call them games of chance because there's a chance you all lose your shirts. But if you insist, it's been 20 years since I quit gambling. My eyes and ears have grown old and soft, but at 61 I'm returning to the fold. I'll treat this like a second childhood. She just kind of grabs the dice between his fingers. And then grabs like the little shaker cup that you see in like the shows and things where they're doing gambling, and he tosses it in there and he like slams the cup down. He's gonna enjoy playing a game with you all. Now guess the roll of the die under this woven cup from 1 to 6. Go on, make your bets. He's like, hey, you see that? It's like, yeah. It's like the die rolled out of the cup when he put it down. And you see as the old man sitting there like looking all ominous again. I love these panels where you have like the dark hatching and shading on it. But you see that the dice is rolled out of the cup, and he's like, he really is going senile. So he wants us to guess? We already know he rolled a 1. And then you see as Akane just like has a twitch, like, has the crowd softened a little? Doing, ooh. It's like, alright, enough side talk. Place your bets, folks. It's like, you want to put money on 1? He starts just like pointing to random people in the audience. It's like, you too? You're also betting 1? Another one there, and another? You want 1 as well? And Akane's like, wow, the calmness in the room has instantly shifted. It's like, do you want to bet on a roll of 1 too? You've got the guts to try me, eh? Yeah, Master Chocho's challenge to the audience has the crowd on the edge of their seats. It's like, that's perfect. I'm still upset that I didn't get to roll earlier. Oops, that was about me. Disregard that. I like that you're all betting the same. Makes things interesting. If the die under this cup is anything but a 1, I win. Time to find out who luck favors. And Hasho goes, on top of his magnetic charisma, he likes to challenge the audience with a directness that matches his nin. At this point, the whole hall is one big gambling parlor. It's like, where it differs from true gambling is, it's like, let's see who wins. And you see him just like the image of the guy going, after I put away the 1 for show, of course he grabs the dice and just pockets it. And it's like, what? It's like, I told you to guess the roll under the cup, didn't I? It's like his performances never miss. So he's got the best street of the audience in the entire Rakugo world, and the boldness to seize the attention of the crowd all in one swift motion. A born gambler both off the stage and on. You have the natural gambler Chocho Kanjakutei. You have Lady Luck. Alright. So I guess quick thoughts on the chapter. So yeah, not much to say. I'm still kind of like weirdly confused about like what the whole like job description for the characters at the beginning was, but that's kind of an aside. But I love how the new kind of like mentor character that Akane is looking after is a risk taker, which I think kind of jives with the whole thing, like Akane being like, because Akane is kind of doing, something kind of considered risky, being like, I'm trying to, kind of revitalize my dad's art form, trying to like basically challenge the Rakugo establishment and everything like that. So I find it really interesting that, she's kind of like the character's trying to like learn from now is like a guy that likes to take chances, likes to gamble, likes to take a little bit of risk. So I'm interested in seeing like how that's gonna rub off on Akane and her performances. Apart from that, not much to say. Like Hasha says, like the story does a really, really good job, I think, of capturing the charisma of Chocho. Like it really, really does come across in the art and like the storytelling. It really kind of sells you on like, yes, this man really does like have a charismatic presence that captures kind of the attention of his audience. Uh, I like the little bits where he's like, he's like getting the audience like involved in the story by like pointing them out to them. It's like almost like the magician shows you see, like in Vegas showmanship, where the magician's like, oh, we're gonna pick someone from the crowd to kind of get like involved in the performance. And I think that kind of heightens the anticipation and kind of heightens the immersion rather than just being kind of sitting there and watching it, getting involved in the story, even if it's kind of like a minor role like this. I think does really do a lot to kind of get the audience more invested in your performance. So I feel like that's a really good touch, especially for a character like this. But yeah, I think honestly this was a solid, solid chapter across the board. Uh, the reveal, the little twist at the end was just rock solid, perfect. Did not really see that coming at all. Could not have guessed it. Absolutely solid chapter. Story, writing, design wise, completely perfect. Really, really looking forward to seeing more of him. So yeah. So like I said at the beginning, expect Goku Rakugai and Akane chapters to come out today, along with hopefully read-throughs for Black Hammer and for Battle Angel Alita as well. If I don't get around to Black Hammer by today, because I'm going to do Alita first, I will definitely be out tomorrow along with another read-through, so look forward to that. Like I also mentioned at the beginning, if you like this content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned before, it really does help me out with YouTube's algorithm to kind of promote these videos to a wider audience. Until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.